Don't you think numbers are really important? So important that just a set of two numbers can tell you the exact location or the address of a point lying in a two-dimensional plane. Well, let me give you a real life example of how we use these set of numbers. If I want to find the address of a person staying in a building, let's say it's a three-story building, and I ask where does the person stay? If you only tell me the floor, that is, let's say, second floor, that won't be enough. I'll ask the further question, that is, which room number on the second floor? That means I require two numbers, the floor number and the room number, to get the exact address of that person. So you see, just a set of two numbers can tell you the exact location of a point. These set of numbers, which are used to find the exact location of a point in a two-dimensional plane, are called as coordinates. These coordinates form the basis of a coordinate system. We will be specifically studying the Cartesian coordinate system, which has two coordinates, x and y. The Cartesian, the word, comes from its inventor, Rene Descartes. Let us try to understand the Cartesian coordinate system and the coordinate geometry through a very interesting dynamic platform, which is a web based learning application called as GeoGebra. So, this is how the interface of GeoGebra looks like. You can see here at the top on the toolbar there are a number of tools. Okay, here we can write the expression or any input. So this is the input area and this is the output area. So whatever expression or problems that you want to solve, you can write it here and the output will be seen here on the graph. For now, we will be studying the coordinate system using this application. So right here, you see that there are two axes or number lines in very simple words. This horizontal number line is the x-axis and the vertical number line is the y-axis. You can see both the number lines or the axis, they meet at 0, comma 0, which is called as the origin. Now, on the x-axis, on the right side of the origin, there are all positive numbers, and on the left side of the origin, there are all negative numbers. Similarly, if you check the y-axis, the numbers above the origin are all positive, and the number below the origin are all negative. You can see that the entire plane is divided into four divisions. This 1, 2, 3, and 4. These divisions in mathematics are called as the quadrants. This is the first quadrant, this is the second, the third, and the fourth. You can remember it as drawing C, okay, starting from the first quadrant. Now, the interesting thing is that the set of numbers that you see here, they will have different signs, positive, negative, in every quadrant. So the signs of the quadrants will vary in different quadrants. You can see that here in this first quadrant, all the numbers, both the numbers, the first number, which is the x coordinate, and the second number, that is the y coordinate. Okay, I'll tell you about that. So here the first number is 4. So if you drop a perpendicular, okay, here, which is 4, so that is the x-axis, and here from this point if you drop a perpendicular on the y-axis, you get the y coordinate, which is 6. So how do we name the coordinate? Is that the first coordinate is the x-axis and the second coordinate is always the y-axis coordinate. Okay, so here you see that there are there is 4 comma 6, both are positive. No matter what point you consider in the first quadrant, it will always be positive. So you see this number positive, any other number I take, it's positive. So everywhere there is positive. Why? Because this entire number line is positive and this number line is also positive. So anything in this area will be positive, positive. Okay, so let me show you by plotting a point. So my input point, I can always consider writing in brackets because these are coordinates. So coordinates are always written in brackets. Let me name a point as 2 comma 6. Okay, so you see it's plotted here. 2 comma 6 is plotted here. All right, so it's positive, positive. Now let me plot another point, okay, on the second quadrant. Now can you guess what will be the sign? So if you've said that the x-axis is going to be negative and the y-axis is positive, so the quadrants would look like negative comma positive, right? So any number, any point will always be denoted by first, that is the x-axis being negative and the y-axis being positive. So you see this minus 10, okay, and plus 4. If I go somewhere else, let's consider this point minus 6, which is my x coordinate, and 6 is my y coordinate. Okay, so let us plot one more point. So if I want to add points, I'll simply add the input here. Okay, and I can input, let's say my second point is now, so I'll have to put minus 2 comma 6 and I get it here. Okay, I don't know why it, okay, so I did not enter it properly, so I'm supposed to put it in brackets, right? Yeah, so you see you have to be a little careful about how you insert your input. Okay, now I'll get it. Oh, what is wrong? Okay, so if you make a mistake, you can always click here and you can delete. Okay, and now I take the bracket and I put the first as the negative coordinate and the second as the positive coordinate. Okay, yes. Now do you see? I get a point lying in the second quadrant. Now I want you to guess what will be the signs of the two coordinates in the third quadrant. So x is negative, y is also negative. So if you said negative, negative, then that's correct. So you see here I have to take a coordinate. I have to take set of coordinates which are both negative. So I take minus 2 comma minus 6 and I press enter to plot the point. So you get another point here, right, which is x coordinate minus 2 and y coordinate minus 6. Okay, that is minus 2 comma minus 6. And now we go to the fourth quadrant and it's evident seeing here that the x is all positive and the y is all negative, so you have positive comma negative, right? So let's plot the fourth and the final point for today. That is, the first is going to be positive, so you have 2 comma minus 6, okay, and you get a pointer. So you see we have plotted 4 points on 4 different coordinates. So A, which you see here, is positive, positive, right? Positive, positive. Then B, which is in the second quadrant, is negative, positive,
then C, which is in the third quadrant, is negative, negative, and finally the fourth quadrant, the coordinates are positive and negative. You can practice a number of points by giving multiple inputs here. So every time you want to put an input, you just have to click this button and put the input here. Now the same application can be used to even find the equation, you know, or you can say plot the equation of the line. So let's say if I want to if I want to plot what is x is equal to 3. Okay, so you see x is equal to 3 is basically a line equation of a line that is parallel to the y-axis. Now if I want to plot the equation of the line that is parallel to the x-axis, then I'll have to put another equation of line, which will be y equal to, let's say, 3 again. Oh, y equal to 3. So you get there. Okay, so did you see that the same application, okay, is used to plot points? It is also used to plot the equation of lines. So x is equal to 3, or say x is equal to a, this equation, a being any real number, x is equal to a is the equation of the line which is parallel to the y-axis, and y is equal to b, b being any real number, will be equation of a line parallel to the x-axis. So just a recap of what we learned today. A coordinate system is a system which allows you to plot the location of exact of any given point in a given plane. We are considering a Cartesian coordinate system which has two axes, x axis and y axis, in a 2D plane, and the origin is always 0 comma 0. The origin is the intersection of the two axes, the x axis and y axis. Okay, then we saw that these x axis and y axis will divide the entire plane into four divisions, which are called as quadrants. So these quadrants are quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. In quadrant 1, both the coordinates will be positive, positive, x also positive, y also positive. The second quadrant, the x axis, the x coordinate will be negative and the y coordinate will be positive. In the third quadrant, the x and y both will be negative. And the last quadrant, that is the fourth quadrant, where the x coordinate will be positive and the y coordinate will be negative. So these were the four quadrants and the varying signs, which are really simple to understand. Okay. Then we learned about the equation of line. Two lines. First line, the equation of line which is parallel to the y axis, that will be in the form of x is equal to a, where a is a real number. And the second line that we saw, the equation of the second line that is parallel to the x axis, will always be in the format of y is equal to b, where b is any real number. Okay, thank you.